Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So in today's video we're going to be focusing using this wonderful Google Earth. We're going to be focusing on Europe. And I'm going to be looking at an article which I found on Wikipedia to show us which are the most populous countries, or cities I should say, which are the most populous cities in Europe. So I just need to do a little bit of an explanation because I found lots of these lists when I was researching this video, and they're all different. So what we're going to do is, we're going to use the one that I found on Wikipedia. I'm going to read a little bit of a text first to explain where they got the numbers from, which is really important because some of you will think, hang on a second, that's wrong. And also, this particular list includes countries and therefore their cities which are on the periphery of Europe. I'm talking about this area of the world over here. So, yeah, well, they are included in this particular list. It's not a sort of purists list. If the country is sort of maybe on the European plate, maybe on the Asian plate, then they're actually in this list. Okay, so the little blurb it says in the Wikipedia article is, this list ranks European cities by population within city limits. That's the really key bit for today's video, because I could potentially do another video without and doing it with the metropolitan area, and we'd have a completely different video. This is why I was so astonished when I saw the different countries, different cities listed in different on different sites. The largest cities in Europe have official populations of over 1 million inhabitants within their city boundaries. These rankings are based on populations contained within the city administrative boundaries as opposed to urban areas or metropolitan areas, which makes this a completely different list to what we would have if we included the metropolitan areas, okay? The limits of a city proper can differ greatly from the size of the city's urban area, so the figures in this list may not give an accurate view of the comparative population of different urban areas and should be treated with caution. So do enlighten us in the comment section if you want to talk about this list. For example, the Paris metropolitan area is the 4th most populous in Europe, but the strict definition of the administrative limits of the city of Paris results in a far lower population and therefore rank on this list. Shall we get started then? I'm going to do honourable mentions to numbers 20 to 11, and they are Prague at number 20 with a population, like I say, city population of 1.3 million. Then we have Kyiv in Ukraine, and that has a population of also 1.4 million. Then we have Munich, München in German, and that one has a population of 1.5 million. Belgrade, I believe is Beograd in Serbian. Belgrade, oh yes, Beograd. That has a population of 1.6 million. Staying in this area, Budapest, the capital of Hungary, has a 1.6 million population as well. Now this is where the city and the metropolitan area really differs. Barcelona is next. Barcelona. So if if we just include the city limits, it's actually in 15th place with 1.7 million. Much higher if you include the surrounding area. Next up we go to Romania, Bucharest, which is here, the capital. That has a population of 1.7 million. Then we go a little bit here to the northwest, excuse me. Warsaw, in Polish Warszawa, has a population of 1.8 million. And the last two are Hamburg, in northern Germany, Hamburg, which has a population of 1.9 million, and slightly more than that, we're also with 1.9, is the Belarusian, that's Belarus, capital of Minsk, here, which has a urban population of 1.9 million. Okay, so now we're going to look at not just where they are, but we're going to have a little look at them as well for the rest of the video. And we're going to start off with number 10, logically, which means we're going to Austria. And we'll be looking at Vienna. I think in German it's Wien, as in Wiener Schnitzel, right? One of my favourite dishes when I go to a German-speaking country, Wiener Schnitzel. So this is Vienna, and it has a population of 2 million. Let's take a look. Now, I've seen Vienna. Vienna has to be one of the most beautiful cities in the world, let alone Europe. So we're not going to do it any justice, but we're going to take a little look. Let's have a peek at some of the sights. Some art, random art on the street. The Schloss Belvedere is a castle. Oh, my word. And some beautiful gardens as well. A fountain. Still haven't been to Austria. I really, really need to go visit. I've only ever heard lovely things about Vienna. Well, apart from the fact that it's very, very expensive. It's the only negativity, I think. The park at night. I want to take a look at the Johann Strauss memorial. So we're back in the park. And the very famous musician, Johann Strauss. That's an ode to him. So that's Austria. Vienna. Take that off. And check we're back. We are. So that is number 10. Then we got number 9. Now this is where it gets controversial because we talked about Paris momentarily a moment ago. So Paris, as you can see, if you include its metropolitan area, it goes up to number 4. But talking about the city limits alone, it's number 9. And that population is just over 2 million. 2,048,472, according to this article. And that was on the 1st of January 2024, so it's possibly gone up even since then. Again, another city. I've actually been to Paris many, many times. Let's look at the Orsay went then. Le Centre Pompidou is somewhere else we could take a look at. Oh, I like, so whenever I used to stay in Paris, I used to stay in Montparnasse. And there's a tower there, and you can pay to go at the top and have a little look around, and it's directly opposite, I mean by miles, but directly opposite the Eiffel Tower, so you can see it's got a really good view there. So if you look, you've got a fantastic view of the whole of Paris, because it's so standout. Look how massive it is. confession, I am terrified of heights. So we didn't go up. And actually my other half is even more scared of heights than I am. So yeah, we didn't. So that's Montparnasse. Musée d'Orsay. Let's just bit again. Let's go to the Louvre, because the gardens in this area are also very beautiful. This whole area is where I used to take all the school trips. Yeah, just absolutely lovely. Then you have the Louvre, where the Mona Lisa is. So you walk through there and you get to the actual, let's see if I can look at the triangle. Oh, is it night? I suppose it's clear though. And then the museum is actually like below. There's the Islamic Arts department there. Place de la Concorde, Place de l'Élysée, and Place de la Concorde. Or the Egyptian obelisk, I wonder if you can see that. Oh yes, there it is. But this is just so much, like I'm overwhelmed with how much I could show you, to be honest. You know, you could even go to the Centre Pompidou, Picasso, Musée National Picasso Paris, Cathédrale de Notre-Dame, which is actually on the island here, isn't it? On the island, sorry. If we go just there. It's being rebuilt, obviously, because of the fire on the roof, but still absolutely stunning building. One of the most beautiful buildings in Paris, if not anywhere. Okay, I could literally spend an entire hour video doing Paris, so we won't. Okay, so that's number 9 in this list. So next in this list, they sort of added one as like an 8.5 because of its location. So they've actually added Azerbaijan's capital, Baku, which is on this peninsula here, as a sort of in between France at number 9 and the city we're going to look at for number 8, saying that Baku has a population of 2.3 million. And yeah, let's take a look then, because I've never really looked at Baku before. I know there's been a lot of investment in the city over the last couple of years. Baku is, of course, the capital. That's the I Love Baku sign. It's the capital of Azerbaijan, which is a state which has a lot of oil, I understand. So they've got very good funding for renovation projects. There's a nice football stadium. I always like to see football stadiums. And what's this? The Olympic Star. Oh, maybe it's just a hotel. What's that? What did that say? Concert complex. Yeah, very good facilities. For example, I remember when they won Eurovision, they built a bespoke stadium. I think there's some quite nice things down the front. I want to see those things. Where are they? Azerbaijan Carpet Museum. The Baku Eye. Must be very cool, like a Ferris wheel. Oh, I thought we could see the those buildings that they like to light up. Are they there? No. Beautiful building. Never mind. No matter. Okay, so that is Baku, which is this sort of 8.5. Okay, let's go to the actual number 8, which is another city that I have been to and I loved. Rome. In Italian, Roma. The capital of Italy. Once again, not sure where to start. Maybe we can start with the Vatican City, which technically isn't actually Italy. Technically, the Vatican City is a country of its own, of course. But you can't really mention Rome without looking at the resident of the Pope. In Vatican City. And then we can take a look. I don't know where to go next, actually. Where should we go? Oh yes, the Colosseo. The Colosseum is basically on a roundabout. It's really funny. And I went in the winter and we queued, you know, like all the way here up to the road, wherever it was. Maybe it's the centre, so we queued. That's probably the queue. But my friend went back in the summer and said that they were basically like on the road queuing on the roundabout, the outside of the Colosseum. It's really a spectacular place to visit. So much history is stored within, of course. Chiesa di San Gregorio al Celio, was it? Al Celio. Why is that street name in Japanese? San Gregorio? Gregorio. Yeah, I think it is San Gregorio in Japanese. Bizarre. There was the Torre della Moletta. The Matatoio, what's that? Oh, so sad when a building goes into disrepute. some sort of stadium. The Giardino delle Cascate. Oh, Cascate, yeah, waterfalls. I think I've just taken this to a housing estate. Oh no, I think it's... I don't know, but it's a really interesting design. Okay, so I did look fairly recently at Rome, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. So that's number 8 with a population of 2.7 million. And now we're going to go to Ukraine, because the capital Kyiv is next on the Dnieper River. So that's the national stadium. Olimpijski. Gearing up for... Oh, so it's not a national match. Lovely stadium. I've always wanted to visit Kyiv Fortress. Let's take a look at that. What else can we take a look at? They got some Golden Gate, Soloti Vorota. Oh, we've bypassed it. Some beautiful. Oh, there it is. Maybe if we go a bit further, we can see it better. Reconstructed medieval city gate. Wow, that's awesome. What's that building over there? I love the architecture. Beautiful. On the cobble streets. So lovely. Okay, can't get too lost in staying in the same place for too long. Okay, so that was next on our list. So according to the article, Kyiv has 2.9 million inhabitants. Next we're off to Madrid, central Spain and the capital. Let's take you to Retiro, one of my favorite places in the center of the city, El Parque Retiro. It's a free park to enter, and you can just walk around it, but there's lots in it, as you can see. That's the Alcalá, we'll go there next. I wanted to see if I could show you the big greenhouse, Palacio de Cristal, which I think is very nice. too close to it. Let's see if we can go out a little bit. Let's go look at it from over there. It's very nice. And then we can look with the Alcalá gone. Yeah, I think it's the Alcalá, isn't it? Retiro. No, it's not. Which way is north? Okay. Fuente de Neptuno, so Neptune's fountain. Madrid, despite its size, always has felt like a sort of, it's got a small city vibe. It's not that busy compared to the Alcalá. Compared to other European capitals, it's just not as chaotic and overcrowded. It's very calm there. There we get the Alcalá. Ah, it's got, they're doing it up there. Okay, so that is, I mean, I could show you so much in Madrid, but I'll come back to it another time. Okay, so Madrid with 3.4 million was next on our list at number 6. Now we're in the top 5. So we're going to go to Germany, or Deutschland, to the capital, which is Berlin. I've been twice. I really like Berlin. It is, I mean, less so now, but it's so accommodating for students. I found it a much cheaper capital city compared to some which are very expensive, like Dublin's really expensive, Stockholm's really expensive, Copenhagen. But I've always found Berlin less so. Germany in general, I think. There's the big tower. Karl-Liebknecht-Straße. Neptunbrunnen. Another Neptune related. There he is with his, what's it called, trident. It's not Alexanderplatz, is it? No, it's not. I think that's a little further away. Volkspark Friedrich Computerspiele Museum, the computer game museum. Sonic the Hedgehog. And Tiergarten, Stay Zoo, Potsdamer Platz. It's very busy, look. All the buildings are lit up. Bahnhof, Potsdamer Platz. All art everywhere. This is the cool thing about Berlin. I walked through East Berlin once, and there was like just someone doing some welding in a fallen down building, and everyone walked in and just watched them welding on a Friday night on the way out for some drinks. It's like, yes, this is normal in Germany. This is fine. I can't imagine anything happening like that in Britain. We've got the Jewish Museum, Jüdisches Museum Berlin. Beautiful building. is on Lindenstrasse. Okay. So that was number 5 on our list. Berlin, capital of Germany, with 3.7 million, as I say, in the actual city limits itself. Okay, so this is where 3 of the top 4 are in Russia, but they are in the European part of Russia, to be fair. Sorry, not 3 of them, 3 of the 2 of them. There's another one. We'll talk about number 1 later on. So we've got St. Petersburg, which is here, Sankt Peterburg in Russian. Very beautiful. I mean, I've said that about everywhere, but the Hermitage is somewhere I've always wanted to go. There's a lot of islands. It's like on an archipelago. Wow, look at that. Look how lavish. The Hermitage. The Hermitage Museum, Hermitage. So if you look, there's loads of little islands. You've got the Peter and Paul Fortress. So look at that briefly. I think I'm right in remembering that St. Petersburg used to, at one point before Moscow, be the capital of Russia. St. Michael's Castle. Mikhailovsky. What did it say? What's it called? Zamok. And the Russian State Museum is there. Rather grand building, isn't it? Wow, that's absolutely huge. Marsovo Polye, the Field of Mars. We've seen lots of odes to Neptune. Maybe we're going to see one to Mars. Ah, there's a flame. Mars being the god of war, of course. Park named after Roman god of war, yeah. Okay, so that is St. Petersburg. And that is number 4 on our list with 5.5 million. Actually, it's probably up to 6 million now, because this was back in the 1st of January 2024, so 5,597,763. Okay, let's go to number 3 then, a place that I used to live near and know very well. It is the capital of the UK and the capital of England, London. We call it London Town. Definitely not a town, it's absolutely massive. This is the M25 that goes around it. And basically everything in it, and everything inside that is London, more or less. I think Londoners, I've heard 2 Londoners talk about this, and some say, oh no, I'm from wherever, like Brentford. I'm a Londoner, I'm from Brentford, and then someone else is like, no, that's not London. So I think that lots of people within London have a much stronger opinion on what constitutes as London or not. Let's go to, so the British Museum. I've got beef with the British Museum, but I will show it to you because it's a nice place. Half the stuff, well, practically everything they have in there is taken from some other country. So it's really ironic. It was called the British Museum, but there we go. It's still a wonderful building to look at. Look, Montague Place. Is that the gardens to go? Yeah, that's the front door. It's fantastic, isn't it? The Charles Dickens Museum, I've never been there. Personal effects in author's former home. Let's go on the street. Oh, actually, just taking us straight inside to the gift shop, no less. These houses in London are absolutely beautiful. You'd have to be a multi-millionaire to be able to even consider buying one. Oh, I love Holborn. Holborn Library. Holborn's one of my favourite bits, really good. And Brunswick's nice. Russell Square, I really like Russell Square. It's got this little park in the area. There's not much to shout about, but it's quite nice. Lots of really good places to eat and drink in the area. And what's that? That's Regent's Park. London Zoo is there. Camden town is very quaint. I'll take you along the canal. I didn't mean take you there on the canal, but yeah, okay, there's a canal. They've got lots of markets. If you watch EastEnders, Camden Town sort of reminds me of that. The sort of markets and everything that's there. Then you've got the British Library. Let's have a look at that. And St Pancras train station is over here. People, I think people live up here as well. Very, very expensive. I saw one on Instagram. Someone's flat. It was like, their flat was about 2 million or something. £2 million. See if I can take you around the other side. St Pancras. And then they've got the Harry Potter platform 9 3/4 there as well. Yeah, it's a really pretty building actually. Yeah, there's someone owns the flat up there and they rent it out and there's like staircases going up. You should check it out online, it's wonderful. You can actually stay in it. I think it's like an Airbnb or something, or a hotel. Okay, so that's London. Check with North. Okay. So London's at number 3 with 8.8 million. So we're going back to Russia now. Moscow, or in Russian, Moskva. I studied Russian in university when I was doing my degree in Spanish and Portuguese, and I always, because I support a Russian club, Spartak Moscow, and I always wanted to go to Moscow, but I still haven't had the chance. Informacja. This was called the Moscow Planetarium by the looks of it. Just check which way is north. Okay. It's so sprawling, it's just massive. This place called Druzhba. I think it means friendship in Russian. Is that the Luzhniki? Yeah, the Luzhniki Stadium. Many brilliant footballing moments happened in this massive Olympic stadium. And that's right on the river. The Darwin Museum, the great Moscow State Circus as well. It's another country which has invested heavily in infrastructure. Monastery. Museum of Russian Impressionism. That would go off my head. I'm not very good with art. It's a mosque there. Saradye Park, State Historical Museum, Zoological Museum, Armory Chamber. Whenever I've done videos in the past for my Russian channel, I've found some nice places to look at, but I get a little bit lost. Moscow State University, I can't remember where to start, where to begin. Let's go down to the park, shall we? Oh, it's over there. I wondered where the I'm gonna take that off. The blue is distracting me. Hang on. I'm particularly looking for Cathedral of Christ the Saviour, State Pushkin Museum, St. Basil's Cathedral. There you are. I never looked at this recently on my top 25 most populous cities in the world, but yeah. Okay, so let's do number one. This is the slightly controversial one, but I don't think you can argue with it being on the list at all, just whether it's number one. Okay, so that was Moscow, the capital of Russia, 13 million. Now at 15,655,000 is Istanbul. And there's a caveat. So technically this is on the European continental plate, and this one is on the Asian continental plate. So the vast majority, 2/3 of Istanbul, live over on the European. So if you say, I think the article explains that 5 million of the 15 million live on the Asian side and 10 million live on the European side. So if you only count the European side of Istanbul, it wouldn't be number one, it would actually be number two behind Moscow. But the entirety of it, as is a transcontinental city, really right on the edge of Europe. This is the second controversial sort of topic, but I'm going to include it anyway. So let's look at Istanbul. All of these cities, I've said the same thing, they're all absolutely beautiful, but they are genuinely beautiful places. Okay, so let's, I don't know the city very well, so I'm going to just start randomly. Now I always get them mixed up. Which one's the Blue Mosque and which one's the Hagia Sophia? So was that on the other side of the river? No, it was the same side, surely. It's absolutely massive, isn't it? So I think it says this is the Süleymaniye Cami. So this Mosque of Suleiman. Istanbul Universities. Let's have a little look at those. That looks very interesting. So leafy and green. Oh, the architecture's wonderful. And then you've got the Fatih Cami. that's not a good one. Lots of people have given photos from here though. Wonderful architecture, isn't it? Let's go inside. Let's have a little look at the courtyard. I love this design. The sun shining in every video, in every picture is making me happy as well, because it's rubbish winter weather where I live in Wales. Let's just do an average street. Bostan. Does that say Beşiktaş? It disappeared. Beşiktaş Eyüp Futbol Okulu. I think Beşiktaş Stadium is down here somewhere, isn't it? Oh, I don't know which way is north. It's such a massive place, like it's so easy to get lost, isn't it? Bakirköy Kadın Kapalı Çözü Infaz Kurumu. I don't know what that means. Turkish just sounds cool. Was a tank. A beautiful ferry boat. This area of water is one of the Golden Horn, one of the busiest areas of land. Busiest areas of water. This strait in Europe, I believe. The architecture and the buildings are absolutely beautiful. I love all the minarets. Is that what you call the little towers? Minarets? Anyway, that is number 1, Istanbul, or number 2 if you're gonna play funny about the fact that 2/3 are in the European side and 1/3 is in Asia. So that is the top 10. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm happy to do this video again with the metropolitan areas because it would be a completely different video altogether. I've had loads of new Patreons since Christmas. Thank you so much for joining up to the platform and supporting me on the channel to get new books, new equipment, to make the channel grow and get even better. If you want to join them, then if you open up the description box, then it gives you all of the info about that. If you want to just curiously come along and not pay any money, then I still release stuff to non-paying Patreon members. And if you do want to join up, then just go for the bottom tier. Yeah, all the tiers get the same perks, which is 1 extra video a month and a second video a month, which is me talking to camera, talking about what I've gotten up to, doing a little ASMR ramble, and you get every single video every week, up to a week earlier, usually about 4 or 5 days earlier than everyone else. So join me, and also you get to chat to me on the message function as well if you want to. So if you enjoyed the video, click like, leave a comment, subscribe, join me on Patreon, and have a lovely evening. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thanks guys, take care, bye. Bye.